So let's go. Let's get started.
Yep.
Yep. I think we're live. So, well, for those who don't know me, I'm Thomas, lead game designer on The Last Spell.
And I'm Matthieu, not lead, but developer on The Last Spell.
Yeah, great. Hello, Canuck. So we're here to talk and show you a bit about the recent release, which was yesterday.
Yep.
Yesterday, the Elopitum. So the release of the last update of The Last Spell, which contains actually quite a lot of stuff. It's been pretty hectic working on that one. So there is a new map.
Yeah, and there's also all the other changes that comes from the open beta.
Yeah, we've done 2 open betas
that's right.
with a lot of reworks. So damage rework, panic rework. What was it? The economy rework, which was pretty huge as well. We're gonna talk about all that in the upcoming hour, something like that.
Yeah, and also some minor changes like accuracy on enemies and this kind of stuff.
Yep. So let's get cracking.
So this is like the new map that you unlock after beating Glenvald. If you don't know Glenvald, well, you won't know Elderlicht before quite some time. But here we are. So
it's like the latest addition and the hardest map.
Yep.
We have. That's why it's unlocked after the previous last map, which was Glenvald. So this one is supposed to be quite a challenge because you have a lot of enemies at the same time coming from a lot of places. I didn't work personally on the wave design of this map. But what I've been the goal was to have pretty different, distinct waves. See you. So the goal was to have a pretty varied wave design in between every day. So sometimes you have a huge wave coming from one side. Sometimes it's coming from everywhere, stuff like that. I think there is also some important changes in the composition.
Yeah, I've heard it too. I haven't played it yet, so it's gonna be interesting. But yeah, the main mechanic that brings Elderlicht is the soul vessel, and so you'll see what's going on here. But as soon as I start the night, but yeah, there are some new enemy types that comes from this map, and we'll get right to it.
Let's get to it. Let the slaughter begin.
So here they come. So you see those enemies are invincible, so you can't actually kill them. But they have this link to the soul vessel. And so to actually make them disappear, you need to extinguish the soul vessel that's right next to them.
Yeah,
when they spawn.
And you don't actually have to if you don't want to.
Yeah,
it's just that they are invincible and coming towards you and doing pretty awful things to your heroes. So either you have to dodge, evade them entirely for the whole fight, or you can actually spend some APs and try to.
That's what we see here. We have a new skill that is extinguish soul vessel, and so we have to get next to the vessel to extinguish them. It costs two action points to deal 10 damage to the flame, and in the early nights it has 10 HP, but then it comes it's a bit more in the end game.
Yeah, you have more vessels and more HP per vessel. So yeah. And that's it. If you don't kill them, it's fine. At the end of the night, they will just vanish.
Yeah.
And
you see, they're quite annoying. Even the first one already has a stun skill, which is huge. But yeah, and they all apparently have their own set of skills and move points and everything. So this one looks to be quite a damage dealer, moving fast. 4 move points, I see. And this one is only 3, but it has a stun, so
stun 100%. So it's like
it's very dangerous.
reliable stun on your heroes. I think there are 6 different types of soulbound heroes like that. So they all have their strength and weaknesses. They're using basically they kinda are mirroring your not your heroes, but globally what the heroes can have. So there are like some bows, some hammers, stuff like that. Some can buff their allies, some will like debuff you. Pretty standard stuff, actually.
Yeah, I'm just gonna kill this one right now because like it's very close to me and I just want some freedom. But yeah, this one I can kill right now, so I just leave it. Or I could, but that's kind of dangerous. So.
Yeah, and actually another important point, which you may or may not know if you've tried like some versions of like Sethusia, the boss from Lakeborg or stuff like that. Say it's that invincible enemies are not only invincible as per you can't kill them. Usually you can't target them, so you can't debuff them, you can't hinder them. So
you can't stun them. So if I hit this enemy, this can be stunned.
Yeah.
Or it's buggy. But
no. Almost no bugs.
Almost no bugs.
So that's it. Like for the new map. Matthieu is going to keep playing so that you can see a bit of the
so
changes.
This one can actually hit me, right? It's going to move like there and.
No, I don't think he can.
Too. Oh, I think he can.
Hello.
Because like it
Thanks
has
for the following.
Range 2 and to like it's the hammer skill.
Yeah.
So it can go like there.
Oh yeah, and
there
range 2 and hit you. Okay.
So I'm just gonna defend.
Just defend and that's it. So yeah. So Matthieu is going to keep playing so that we can see what happens next. But yeah, globally, as one can see, and maybe you can actually, just go around the map, like dezoom and go around the map for a bit.
Yep.
So this map is a pretty distinct in its aesthetics. It's like underground in an old mine or necropolis of stuff like that. It's the archives. So yep, we wanted to have this like gloomy. I want to say gloomy, but all the maps are gloomy. So, but yeah, even more gloomy. Like
it's like Halo.
Even in the underworld, even in the underground, the mist is there, so you can't evade the mist. And it's like the layout is more symmetrical because it's supposed to be like man-made. It's not like organic, like when you have some mountains or forests or stuff like that. So yeah, that's why it's more oriented towards some corridors, rooms with some pillars and stuff like that.
And you can already see that the waves are quite interesting in Elderlicht, because like in night 1 we already have some accursed on the map, so that's kind of surprising.
Which is quite early for accursed.
Yeah, I didn't expect them. So I saw on the Discord that there was accursed, but yeah, it's still
you can still kill them quite easily.
I mean, if you get lucky, everything's possible.
But you better be able to kill them because they can be quite annoying. So yeah, basically, I think that's it for now for the.
That was disappointing.
For night 1 accursed. Ooh, spooky ghosts. We wanted to try some different stuff because obviously this map, like we wanted it to be globally tougher than Glenvald because it's after. But even though we still, I'm not sure about whether it has exactly more enemies per night or stuff like that, but we wanted it to bring some difficulty in other ways than just increasing the numbers.
Yep.
Also, like compared to Glenvald, for instance, Glenvald is like the first map where we had a lot of enemies at the same time and very spread out. so they're coming in small blobs everywhere in Glenwald, and in this one they are quite tough, quite numerous, but usually they come more in like in dense packs, so you can still fight them pretty well with AoEs, be it like damage or propagation stuff. So we'll see about that.
I'm just gonna try to sneak behind the Soulbound Warrior because like it's very annoying. I just don't want to get stunned.
Why not? I don't get it.
And yeah, the fact that the vessel is like so far, it's very interesting. Like where to go and how to play it. It's quite a challenge.
Yeah, because you don't have like that many enemies. It's quite a lot, but you don't have that many enemies for now. But it's still quite dense, so you can't actually go to the vessel right now.
Yeah. It also blocks line of sight. That's
yeah. Hello, Comrade Bender. Welcome.
Hi.
And thanks for playing. Actually, we really enjoy having some feedback and like comments like that. So it's really nice. Okay, quite some more enemies.
Yeah.
See, it's already the end of the night. It's not that hard.
That's right. A lot of armors in here. I need my meta guy.
Who is on the other side?
He's quite busy. Yeah, I just did this. Okay, so.
Okay.
There you go. Goodbye.
Glenwald.
You're free now.
Glenwald felt really suffocating. Yeah, harder to navigate by range caster, and that was actually the point. So obviously we had to like balance and tweak some stuff as always. But yeah, that was exactly the goal for Glenwald, because we wanted something different. It was the first new map, the first other map. Rather than Lakeburg, and thing was at the time even more than now. Like the meta was play range only. Like ranged heroes were like the best, the absolute best, and we wanted to have a map that was challenging them a bit. So yeah, that was the reason. The new soulbound mechanic looks cool. Yeah, well, we hope you will like it. It's actually pretty tough to devise a mechanic like that, which is supposed to be very annoying, but not too annoying because then like you don't want to play against it. So we're really crossing the fingers that it hits the right spots there. Will the soulbound enemies try to destroy the circle?
Depends on which one, I guess.
I
don't know.
I actually think most of them, if not all, are mostly targeting your heroes. Like they're really, it's like they are kind of heroes by themselves, and they kind of know what the threat is. So they know like the rest of the horde is gonna try to rush for the circle. So they are here to like prevent your heroes to defend the circle.
This way is quite interesting. Like there's not the main corridor, but they're coming from two sides.
Yeah,
quite grouped. So.
Yeah, I remember Victor, the main designer who was working on the waves, was actually trying to do stuff like that and asking for some like features from the devs to try and allow for some like split, some controlled split waves and stuff like that. So for that time, only spear and were useful. Spear and dagger. Okay. Well, we'll see. Well, as we were saying, like the hammers. The hammers are actually pretty annoying because they stun you like 100% chance. So they might not be like. Maybe you haven't felt like they did a lot because maybe you were targeting them and like preventing them to come, because we've playtested some runs, and when you let them come to you and like corner you somewhere, it's a pain. So I start with the seer built on this map. Oh,
yep.
Is there a way to see the cap on how far you can push the mist? So actually, there is not. There is not at the moment, and this is something we've talked about quite a lot during the development, and there are always have been some like higher priority stuff to do. But yeah, in my opinion, we should, and so we will try to add at some point some like feedback, visual feedback on like the minimum and the maximum of the mists. Yep, it is Helsing. So yeah, actually that was a good point. We didn't talk about that. Like this map starts with a
Yep.
slight different setup than the other one. So you have the
Still
seer.
have the shop
Yeah,
and
of
like two
course.
houses.
You have a couple of
ruins.
watchtowers built
yeah.
already.
That's right.
So they might not be useful at the beginning, but then like you can use them later for free, or like just dismantle them if you want to build them somewhere else. But I think usually you have quite a high limit of watchtowers, so you don't need really to dismantle them. And you already have a scavenger camp as well. Start with the scavenger camp, and this is something we wanted to try because like at least before the economy rework, and we'll talk about that a bit later, but scavenger camp was never built at no point in time. And in this map we want to have like lots of enemies, and we want people to feel like they need a lot of defenses to withstand this huge amount of enemies. So yeah, we wanted to try to emphasize that in giving you like the scavenger camp at the beginning for free as well. Hey Def, thanks. So yeah, that's it. That is for the starting setup. You already have quite a lot of walls, always wooden as usual, like as often, not always, but yeah. And you might not need them like for the first or couple of first nights, but I think it's always welcome to have.
Where do you come from?
Mist, of course.
Always the mist.
Okay, first night
Okay.
is done for.
So yeah, 6 recurs on the first night. That's quite a lot actually.
That's quite a lot, and yeah, that's it. But it's still like you have the S rank because you're so good.
Thank you. So yeah, it's a bit like Glenville where you already go level 3 on the first night.
Because like there are quite a lot of enemies,
Yeah.
and the hackers bring quite some XP for the beginning. So
That's
yeah.
right.
How many nights do you need to survive on this map? Actually,
17, I guess.
I think it was. I don't recall exactly, so don't quote me on this because we've changed a bit. But I think it's 14.
Yeah, I think
it's 14. We were like it's either 14 or 13. So yeah, we need to count the squares. But I think it's 14. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems to be 14.
So basically, it's like you play some kind of Glenvald,
But like way longer.
like for 14 days, yeah. Because like we wanted to try that, and people were also always asking for like time to play with their heroes once they're fully or almost fully built. So yeah, we wanted to try that.
Okay. So yeah, the economy like of specifically of Elderlicht is quite interesting. Like because I don't really know what I want to do with this year. Do I want to push back the fog at first night, or like because it's very strong to push back the fog, but
it's very strong, but very expensive as well.
Yeah, it's also very expensive, and the first night like you need to build your economy and for exponential growth.
Can you bring the volume of the music a bit up?
Down?
It's like 20.
Okay. Like
the master volume, 25, something like that. Yeah.
Okay,
we'll see. And please chat, tell us if it's like too high or too low, or after. So yeah, just keep playing, and they'll tell us if it's wrong. So how many? Well, there is a limit on the watchtower now. Yeah, it's not really. No. It wasn't limited, and it's true that now like we have 12. I think 12 watchtowers. You can build 12, and it's definitely more than enough. And the reasoning was that we tried to like do some uniformization, like the warp gate had some changes, like they are now invincible, which is pretty big. So this is a really huge change. So now you can build them like freely anywhere on the map, and they're really good because they were underused because of the
fact that you could destroy them.
Yeah. They were really weak, so you didn't want to build them on the outside on the map, which is actually where you want them to be.
Yeah.
So that was annoying. So basically, what we did is like, okay, warp gates will be much more useful if they're invincible. But then we felt the need to like limit them, and then we started to limit some defenses because it's a way for us to have some hard cap, preventing some potential exploits that we didn't account for. Like if, for instance, there would be a really, really OP strategy involving like a 25 watchtowers.
Yeah.
This way, like it's kind of a soft fix for that. And we're not saying there is, but like 12 is more than enough for the standard use. So it shouldn't like hurt anyone, except if we like didn't think about something, and then it will help us to prevent that. So that's it.
So I'm already thinking about changing the guy from melee to melee magic, because like I got 6% from magic damage. So that's also a huge change from the update that was already in the open beta.
Yeah.
So now like ranged magic and physical damage are secondary attributes. So that means that on level ups first you don't get them here. Now you get them here. Maybe I have
they're quite rare, so maybe you don't get them.
Yeah, they're more scarce, so you don't have so much as before. And it's more of an archetype now. Like you need to focus on building to a physical damage, where before it was a lot more like the default thing to go for. Now you can go more on mixed builds and playing like I'm going for with the hammer guy. Like you can go melee magic, or you can even play as everything you want basically. Like if you wanna build poison, you can like go, I don't know, hand crossbow and orb if you want, or druidic staff and.
Yeah, that was really the main reasoning behind this rework. Like they still work the same, so you can use them like the same way you did, but since they are more scarce and in competition with different other attributes, it changes a lot how and when you pick them.
Yep.
So that's it. Like their potency is exactly the same as it used to be, but you have less, like either less opportunities, or when you have it, you will have to like commit in that one, for instance, stuff like that.
And we can already see like bodybuilder got a huge buff after that, because like physical damage is specific archetypes. So.
Yeah. Now it's much more specific.
And I think flexibility got nerfed, right?
It got flexibility got nerfed because it's actually easier to proc now.
Yeah, it's because, like very strong now.
Because the damage rework makes the ability to build diverse characters much easier. Like having, as Matthieu said, like a caster with a hammer or stuff like that, because you usually don't lose any damage in doing this hybrid archetype.
Yep.
So yeah, basically the flexibility got like a bit nerfed because of that, because it's rewarding something that is easier to do now. So that's it. Not to take. I still find it hard to not to take the twice the same weapon type. Yeah, I know. It's
all
like all the bits die hard. It's the same for me, and I remember. In a recent playtest, I was actually trying, and I was self-complaining because I was like, I still focus on my heroes on like melee, magic, range, and stuff like that. And it was actually funny because like the day after that, the in-game day after that, I dropped like a really good, I think it was hand crossbow, something like that, and I just had taken some multi-hit or propagation on another guy who was like a magic guy. So I actually equipped the hand crossbow and had a lot of fun with it. So yeah. But as you say, Def, that's like the goal. It was actually quite hard because the goal was not to prevent people from focusing a single archetype. It was to still allow that, whilst enabling the like the possibility to do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Basically, so yeah. And also the versatility, like as I said, like we wanted people to not be to feel too constrained. I started the run with a hammer, or I like dropped or bought a hammer on day 2, and then I specialized in like melee and stun, so I have to take hammers.
Yeah, that's right. I when I playtested the new stats, I had like a poison guy, I had a stun guy, and the other was completely useless. But but yeah, those two guys, like one was playing like 2-hand hammer and a longbow, and it was like huge. It really worked well, and yeah. That was very interesting to
That's
play.
great.
Because you can play like whatever you want. Yeah. And the other guy was like full poison, and both had like no damage at all, but it worked. It worked. So,
yeah, and also a smaller like thing we did with this like overall damage rework was to emphasize a bit more on the reliability stat. Because like the reliability, well, it's pretty great on a couple of weapons, but especially in the like late stages of the run. So basically, what we've done is to compensate a bit some loss of damage that can be a result of the switching and merging and like tweaking of attributes. We increased a bit the base damage of every weapon, but only the max boundary of the damage. So basically, on average, the weapons deal more damage on their own. But since we only increased the maximum, it also means that the damage range are bigger, and they always get bigger with the item level. So item level like 5 is way bigger range than item level 0. And so the reliability stat is actually much more relevant now. So there's that.
I want to try warp gates, but right now I just have one site, so I don't really know if it's worth it.
One guy completely useless. That's an archetype I'm familiar with. Yep.
You know this guy. Like you want to start something, and then the level ups don't come, and you're like, maybe I can try this out, and then it just ends up being nothing.
He gets
give it a wand. It's just like giving AP.
He gets the participation trophy. Great.
Yeah, they ended up getting kicked up on night 6 or 7, I think.
Level boss, the focus in building specific heroes. Well, we want to try to bring some stuff, and it's actually pretty hard to have some real accurate logic in between the maps, in between the systems, in between the various states of the meta for different people. Because like since we're working on this game on an iterative basis, we are always like reworking some stuff, adding some stuff, and thing is, when we add some stuff, we can think about what we did or didn't do on the previous phases. But obviously, those previous phases couldn't like foresee what we would do later. So sometimes we have to come back and switch some stuff and tweak, or some like things can feel a bit dated because like we didn't know we would do such or such things, which is why we also like reworked so many things in this update, because like we still don't know exactly when and stuff like that, but we're closing obviously on the closing, it's getting closer and closer to the actual release date, and at some point like we know we want to rework stuff mainly during the early access, which is like the goal of the early access. And once the game releases, there can be like some additions, some tweaks, but we don't want to be able to have to rework systems. So yeah, once the game releases 1.0, like all the systems have to be in place, and we have to be happy with them, because like that's how they're gonna be.
Gotcha. I was expecting like
Open up stuff. Great challenge. Yeah, that's really nice to hear.
That's
New weapons or buildings. Yeah, we've
what's the trinket maker? And
yeah, we've added a couple of buildings, but yeah, it's like trinkets is kind of a semi new building, because like usually the trinkets you would be able to like craft them in other buildings, which actually was a placeholder since the release of the early access version. But yeah, we want to add weapons, buildings, stuff like that. But as I was saying, like the focus for now, we feel like the content we have is not like the whole content we want for the game whenever, but it's more than enough to have diverse runs, diverse playthrough, play tens of hours. So basically we focus on reworking the foundations, and then once it's all working, like for instance, like this damage rework, we were pretty eager and anxious to work on that, because it was really hit or miss. But now that we are pretty happy with it, and we actually, like, we can see the chat, but we have a pretty good response to that. It actually makes us feel more confident in what we have, and more confident when we have to add new weapons, new skills. Especially since now we know that like you can mix a wand and the hand crossbow or whatever you want. So it's much easier for us to like devise a new weapon that can be used with a lot of other combinations.
Sorry, I'm killing the phone. I just did the three southbound on the first.
See that new mechanic?
Nope. Yeah.
Yep, that's it. So I'm gonna answer some stuff I've seen. I try to remember from the chat, but yeah, this map emphasized, I think was maybe Death Metal, something like that, talking about that earlier. But this map is made to emphasize movement again, in a different way than Glenval does, because Glenval is more like you have to be everywhere on the same front. And this one is more because everything is like all around the same side, and in this one it's gonna be more like you have to be some places to defend from the horde, some other places to like maybe like extinguish the vessels.
Yep. And
maybe some other places because like you just have a chicken hero running from 2 or 3 invincible soulbound heroes. So, and truth be told, that's also the reason we wanted to like rework a bit the warp gate, because like we were thinking this map is a perfect example on how and why you should use warp gates. Maybe not at this stage of the run, but like later when they're coming from like 3-4 sides, and you also have like some soul vessels to extinguish. It might be interesting to have like some warp gates inside the city, outside somewhere, maybe near some vessels, and be able to travel instantly.
That was a lucky shot.
Easy.
Okay.
Stun all the way.
Well, I'm pretty safe here.
That's why we need some stun resist. Do you guys already have a draft, or what kind of change you want to make in the meta? So yeah, we have a couple of questions for the new update. It's like we just released this one, and everyone is asking about the next one. But
Or complaining.
No, but that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
We have a lot of ideas, but it's like it's huge. Like the changes are huge, but the meta game is huge. The meta system is huge. So it takes a lot of time. Like even if we know where approximately we want to go and how, it still takes like days and weeks just to figure out every single bit of why, how many, how much, stuff like that. It's really hard. But basically, yeah, the reason we're gonna wipe the thing is like we almost didn't want to touch the meta since the early access release, because we know that when we start changing stuff with the meta, it's gonna like stop making sense or destroy or lose some progress and stuff like that, and we didn't want to do that several times in the development. But now we feel like, as I said, we're closing on the final version, so we'll have to do it at some point. And every new update, when we're working, we're like, okay, we'll do that, but the current state of the meta is like hindering like what we can do or our vision or stuff like that. And every time we're walking around stuff, but now we have to like change. We know, for instance, that many people stated, and they're right, that even though we still want to keep some like actual progression, like power, like small power creep from the player, it's actually too prevalent in the last spell. So the difference between someone playing a run that is like brand new and someone who have been playing for like tens of hours, this is insane. We often like when we rework stuff, we often have to play tests. Like I play test the Virgin one, the no meta one. Someone play tests like late go with half meta, whatever that means. And sometimes like people play test the full meta stuff. And it's like it's really so different that it's hard to come up with concepts or solutions or tweaks that satisfy like all the various stuff. So basically, yeah, we want to reduce a bit the variation, the delta in passive power from the beginning of the game to the end of the game. And we want to try, if we can, to transform some of that in a way that can add some diversity instead of like just power creep. I can't say more about that until we analyze, we change some stuff, and we know it's working. But yeah, that's the goal. And also, like more importantly, like not more importantly, but another side is that we want to reduce a bit decrease the grind as well. A lot of people have been complaining about the grind, and it's actually pretty true, because like when we released the game more than 1 year ago, we were only projecting, like we didn't have enough playtest or enough like data about the players around the world. So we made some like scenarios and saying like, yeah, okay, people playing like 2 runs, they will have approximately this or that, but this is way too subjective, and I think it's like it was like a bit out of control. So yeah, that's it. We want to like decrease the grind. We have like gathered plenty of feedback from players. We know people don't like, for instance, pretty easy stuff, but people don't like when they lose the run, like they lose a night and they don't gain anything. And we've been like reading, hearing that for more than a year, and we agree. It's just that we didn't want to touch the meta part of the game, so we didn't do anything about it. But yeah, we're gonna try to alleviate that. We're gonna try to, like, for instance, accelerate some part of the grind either by changing the trees, let's say the branches, on how you access various upgrades, or how long you need to play and stuff like that. Yeah. New epoch difficulty is not planned for now. We wanted to work on that, but we wanted to work on new epoch, but then we had some we had to prioritize stuff. So it's not something I can't say for sure, but I think it's not something we will work on until the first the release. But afterwards, maybe we'll add or rework some stuff. Yeah, it was a long answer because it's a long topic. Trust me.
So yeah, there are 4 sides.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Oh,
Didn't expect this.
Day 2,
Day
4
2.
sides.
I was like, oh, okay.
Okay.
So the seer is going to be handy.
Hello.
Hi. There are already 5 types of enemies. I'm also curious about what these 2 are. But yeah, it's a cursed night 1. What's gonna come up on night 3?
I don't know.
All right. Well, we're gonna test the warp gates now.
Warp gates.
It's more
Just
to bring my
a lot of stuff to do. So basically, yeah, I can talk a bit about the hold on. Paid DLC content. We don't know yet. Well, we want, the only thing we can't say anything, not because we don't want to, because it's way too early even for us. We know we want to keep working on the game. 1.0 is not the end of the game. It's the end of the base game, how we want it to be playable and stuff like that. But yeah, we want either paid, free DLCs, whatever, patches. We want to keep working on the game afterwards because we're not done, be it with balancing or content. So yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, an important change we've worked on, so we can talk a bit about that. Is the economy.
Yep.
Economy rework. So we've had troubles with that since a long time ago, and people were pretty divided, but complaining about the fact that the economy was pretty explosive. It's very exponential, and that was intentional, but it was intentional in a way that felt like it was mandatory to do some stuff always in the same order and at the same time. And if you were deviating from that even a tiny bit, it was not worth it to continue because your run would be lost. So it's especially true on higher epochs, but depending on the skill level of anyone, it can be true earlier in the game. Let's take Habit Learner. So yeah, basically.
You're right, definitely. But I'm only playing 2 or 3 nights, so
we know
Habit Learner is not that exciting for a stream.
For a stream of 1 hour.
Yeah, I think. No, I didn't take it. Yeah, but you're right. Yeah, Habit Learner is good stuff.
But yeah, so the economy rework, the point was to try to soften a bit the curve of the economy. So basically now the gold mines are much less explosive in their yield when you upgrade them fully. But they're much more interesting earlier without upgrading them at all. So it's I think it was before it was yielding 10 gold by default, something like that, and now it's 25, I think.
Yeah, I think.
So it's passively you just build it 25 golds, and that's pretty great. But then the upgrades, which were really exponential, now they're okay, you go from 25 to 35 or something like that per night. And it's much more focused on the way that just building it is pretty good passively, and then you can upgrade it or not, but you can do it later because since it's much less explosive, you won't miss that much if you don't do it right away. because before, I remember like early game you could like just build some mines, do nothing, and you gain like 20, 30. But if you would like focus on them in 3-4 days, you could get like hundreds.
Yeah.
So like the difference was huge. So yeah, that's it. And we applied that, and it's also like a bit more focused on upgrading the gold mine when you want to or can afford to, and use them like actively with the workers. Thanks a lot, guys. It's really nice to read. Also, a lot of people, I know a lot of people, like, I don't know if they've tried the changes of the economy rework, or if they just like were projecting from the like the blog posts. But I know there have been like some very nice feedback on that, and some people are like more skeptical, and they think it's more of a nerf to the economy than a buff or anything. Well, I for one think it's more of a buff, but the point was not exactly to buff or nerf it. It was to like
change the way it works.
Yeah, it's not to make it like better or worse. It's make it like less diverse and less variance between when you use it correctly or not, like optimally or not. When can we try the patch? The patch? You can try it actually.
You can try that.
Yeah, it's released. It has been released yesterday, so it's
just
live.
Want to wait for the bug fixes, but
yeah,
but yeah,
as usual,
otherwise.
couple of bugs that can be annoying. So you can try it now, but there are a couple of bugs that we are fixing internally, and we will release as soon as possible the fixes.
So you might be wondering why I just destroyed those barricades. So did you talk about the panic rework?
No, not yet. You can talk about the panic rework.
So yeah, sure. So like now, like before the rework, we were quite expecting the players to go for air strengths to get the like intended rewards for the night. Now it like lowered to A. So the S tier is supposed to be like harder to reach and a bit better. So what changed towards that is that like whenever your walls get hit and like any buildings, you get some panic if it's inside your city, and for the walls, like it's when a wall gets destroyed, it's like the equivalent of 1 point of panic, but it's not like when it's destroyed. It's when it's damaged. Like if it loses half of its health, it's gonna bring 0.5 points of panic. So like the more stronger the walls, the better for low panic. So if you put barricades at the front of your city, like any barricade that get destroyed is like 1 point of panic.
Yeah,
so
I think we've softened that a bit to 0.5 because it was too harsh, especially for the barricades that you have already in the city at the beginning.
But that's why I destroyed those ones, because they were like 3 exactly at the front, and was like, oh. I got a bad
that's it.
A bad experience when I was playing this, and I was like, oh shit.
But that's it. And I saw like Deft stating something, which is actually a point going towards this whole panic and economy rework, which is why we actually perform them reworks at the same time. It's because they're really tightly like tied together. Because like the economy as a whole is like getting and expending gold on materials, be it with the buildings, the like gold mines, scavenger camps, stuff like that, be it with like selling gear, like crafting and selling gear, or the night rewards, the panic rewards.
Yep.
And this is why we also wanted to take the opportunity given by changing the overall pace of the economy to hey, thank you for the follow.
I was wondering what
and we wanted to take advantage of the change of pace to also like rework a bit the panic and how you get some panic, but also what like a given score of panic means. A lot of people were actually scared because like, okay, walls now give panic, and it was pretty tough for us to like to
Explain,
to communicate that, because it is really like negative in a way. But since we've reworked the like the thresholds of panics and what they give you and what we as designers or the game is expecting of you, it's actually not a nerf. It's actually, it should be actually a bit easier to get like some good enough rewards to get going.
Is there supposed to be a...
I don't think it's supposed to have to show, but it's like one patch it shows, one patch it speaks, one patch it shows, and like whatever.
So yeah, I see those mages have quite a dangerous spell here.
Yep, it's like the bad transfer.
Yeah, the bad transfer. I want this one with the one.
Yeah, and multi-hit as well.
Yeah.
But
Why
yeah,
not?
I like the idea of offhand weapons. Never seem to find them. Yeah, it's pretty rare, and it's mainly because like they're currently like offense are in a bad spot at the moment. So since we don't have time to fix them, like to rework them or tweak them or have them like be worth it, we kind of hit them. It's like, okay, you can find them, but they're pretty hard to find, pretty stuff like that, because we can still like make them pop in the shop or the production, and we might actually like increase the chances a bit. But if you don't like them and you're presented an offend like every one or like every production, you will be frustrated. So we want to rework them, but as usual, like production schedules means that we don't have the time to rework them. So we are desperate to rework them. Actually, we have some ideas, be it like an actual rework or just like changing the like their balancing, but we need some time. So yeah. And also another point which is interesting is that part of why they were bad, like they are bad by, some of them are bad by themselves, but also previous to the damage rework, they were really not really useful, because as we said, you couldn't mix weapon types. So yeah, it's like, okay, I think there are like 6 or 7 different offense. If like half of them are bad and you don't want them, you only have half left. And in that half, if you can only use like one, because like you're you have a sword and you can only use a melee one, then the choice is really poor. But now that we've reworked the damage to be like more diverse, more eclectic, I think that offense are actually more like they can be worthwhile now, like mixing a gun, an offense pistol with a sword, stuff like that. So we might have to think about like improving them a bit, the odds.
This one is annoying. I want to get there, but I can just stay here and bait him and then go back, because like the archer is gonna hit me, and I'm playing blast cannon, so that's a tough one.
Yeah, that was the question, and I see it's been answered. Yeah, they only pop, they only appear at the beginning of the night, but yeah, for starters, there are more and more, like the further you go in the run, the more vessels and soulbounds appear.
Yep.
And also at some points, the vessels get tougher, so you have to invest more to like destroy each one. So yeah.
Didn't see you there.
Hello.
Can't imagine what it would be if they had like remove points.
Yeah, Death Metal is talking about the pushing the mist. The thing is the quantity of vessels being lit is fixed. So if you discover more vessels, the only downside might be that they are more
further.
like they're further, and it's less easy to guess. Like there are more probabilities, so
they're always like even with the fog very close, you can get views that are quite annoying since they're on the sides. So
yeah,
I think the only vessels that are revealed are on the center. So it's not the ones that you're afraid of. I think
it's like
in the center you can anticipate and place your heroes to extinguish them fast. But you see, like this one is very annoying to me.
Yeah, and another point, like I don't know if it offsets completely that, but since the warriors, the Sunbounds, appear, and they appear next to the vessel, the origin vessel. Like if it's further, like you have more time also to like handle the wave or prepare whatever you want. So, is there an indication which vessel Sunbound? Yeah, you can hover here.
Yeah, you can hover.
If you hover, it just like it's like not that visible, but you can get with the hover.
Yeah, and if you select them too, it stays over here. Same there.
Yeah, you can see that. So yeah. They are further, so I need more movement. That's what I was saying. Like, it's harder.
But you can use the new
yeah, which is why. No, but that's for real. It's like one of the reasons I wanted. Like, for the fun fact is that like the map was pretty much ready. The patch was almost ready, and it's like a couple of days before the release candidate that we were talking about that and saying, yeah, what about improving the warp gates, because that would be a perfect candidate for the warp gates. So yeah, but actually that's a good piece of feedback. Maybe I don't know, but it might be something like okay, more candidates, but we can maybe have like some stronger weight on the closer vessels, closer to the map. So this way you can get like the full benefit of pushing the fog and less chances to have the vessels further.
It's like already now they are constrained. Like they're not like completely random. So the vessels have to spawn on the sides of the waves. So if you're like attacked here and here, those vessels will never light up.
Yeah.
So that's because like at first, like the first version of it was like you were fighting here, and then the Southbound was spawning here, and you were like okay. So,
which is actually something we don't have for the mist sensors, and
that's right.
I talked about that. Like maybe we will use that tech for the mist sensor as well, so that they are like less mist sensors, but on the sides of the wave. So yeah, we'll see about that later if we have time. Yeah, it could, but then if it comes, it's gonna be like way after the release, like the 1.0, because it's like anything that is like specific like that is really time consuming, resource consuming. So for a single map, I mean, so yeah. Is warp gate indestructible now? Yep. Yeah, good. That's why it's like with this map we say like okay, warp gates are they are shiny at first, but then when you notice their weakness and the fact that they can be destroyed so easily and stuff, usually it's hard to use their full value. So we decided to make them indestructible and limit it to 6.
The fact that you need them like deep into the fight, like it gets destroyed very quickly.
Yeah, Dev.
You can already
Dev. That's
see.
why I was talking about the warp gates like a lot. It's like you can use warp gates now. That's why I was
They're
like we
a
were
thing
talking
now.
like you can use warp gates to alleviate the like the
Yep.
distance of the.
Yeah, I saw someone like complaining about the full sight of the night 3, I think,
Yeah.
on the Discord. So yeah, you see, it's doable.
It's
Yeah,
doable. It's hard.
It's dangerous. Yeah, it's
But-
hard, but it's doable. Yeah. So yeah, you can see like my walls took damage, and yeah, the panic is starting to grow. So you need to be very careful about it.
Yeah, but it's still very slow because
Yeah.
that was another point. Like the panic, it still can be, but it was really binary. It's like either you get the S, but like perfect S rank. Before it was like that. You would get the perfect S rank, or sometimes you get it a couple of times, or you get the D rank because like you're overrun. And what we wanted to do is like to basically you have more things generating panic, but each of them is much like a much lower value than it used to be. So the result should be like much more granular. And as we were talking earlier, as we were saying earlier, we also don't expect the same results like before. You had to get the S rank to be like in a good spot. Now we've lowered a bit the differences in rewards, especially economic rewards. So basically, getting an A is what you should like aim at. B is still okay. It's not like it's a minus setback. S is really good, and this way you can actually like focus early on the economy if you want, but then you might get some A's and it's good. Or you can actually like focus on like building strong heroes. You get less gold from the gold mine and stuff like that, but then you will get some S ranks with a bit more rewards, better items. So yeah, it's up to you. I think we're gonna finish the night because it's been an hour already.
Oh, already?
Yeah, it's quite fast, but we can still take a couple of minutes if you still wanna. If you still have some questions, like some topics you want us to cover. I think we've covered most of the reworks.
I think so.
Panic, damage, economy.
We haven't talked about the accuracy of. of enemies,
That's like a smaller but decent, like good rework. Basically, now enemies have accuracy because before you could only like debuff their accuracy with a couple of spells.
Yeah.
And spoiler alert, it was not working really well.
Like not at all.
And not really. And basically what we've done now is that all the enemies have some accuracy, and actually we don't have enemies, so maybe we'll rush to the night afterwards just to show that. But enemies have their accuracy value, and they start with a negative accuracy at the beginning of the run. So that it's more lenient towards either less experienced player that's like have lesser positioning, or it's more lenient if you want to greed and like let them go to your defenses. They can miss buildings now, so that's very important. You have some fun times seeing a clover like missing a wall. But essentially, what this means is that debuffing an enemy's accuracy is pretty good now, because before even like, it was not working well. But even if it was, it would generally be less efficient than like just increasing your dodge, because it would only work on a given hero. Like you decrease the accuracy of these enemies, and it only works if your hero is hit. But now you can actually like the rifles skill, which debuffs the I think it's suppressive fire or something like that, which debuffs the accuracy. Or maybe we changed it. I don't remember. Third one. So this one, suppressive fire, like it's been buffed actually, and it can essentially be good, especially because of the shape. Because now it can be, I'm not saying it is, but it can be a good idea if you are being overrun on a side to let them like clump up against the wall, and then you debuff the whole line, and basically they just like take the space, and half of them will miss the wall. So that's it. And that's the accuracy rock. And another thing was actually we could actually can you go back to the shop?
Sure.
Yeah. And you have actually two rifles, so we can see the difference.
That was I was checking this.
Some skills like debuffs or buffs, we can actually now scale them. They couldn't scale before. The only scaling thing was damage or poison damage.
Yep.
And now we can. So most of the buff and debuffs don't scale because like scaling some move points over APs is really hard. But this one minus 44% accuracy,
and
this one is like minus 42. So we have.
I get the basic one is like 14.
Yeah.
And the plus 5 must be around 50. Yes.
I think so. Yeah. Something like that. So and it's true for enemies as well.
Yep.
Like the
ghost, the
accursed have their skill scaling bit, but especially the guardians. The guardians they have the block buff, on the on their mates, and
that's right.
Before it was a bit annoying because since it wasn't scaling, we had to put like some average values. Like, I don't know, I think it was, 20, 25, 40, 30, something like that. And in the beginning of the run, it was like annoying as hell. And in the end of the run,
it was like useless.
It was useless. And now it scales along the run, so yeah.
So I guess I'm just gonna go through the night to see.
Updated roadmap. Well, basically the roadmap is gonna be like the same as the one released like we have now. I don't know the date at all, and I wouldn't be allowed if I knew them to state them. But basically the next big update will be meta rework, and maybe some stuff, but it's not. We don't want to talk about it. It's like the meta is so huge that we don't know how many and what we can fit alongside. So this one is going to be really big. And then we're going to be starting to like aim for the 1.0 afterwards. So once again, I don't know how I can like what I can say about that. How much I am allowed to say about the marketing team, but also how much I can like say because it's not accurate at all for now. So we're gonna
everything can change.
Even on our side, it's pretty hard to see what we're going to do. So if we know changes, like if we know some stuff that is going to be certain and is not on the public roadmap, we will update the roadmap. So
as you can see, like enemies already have like, and I'm at night 4, so they start lower, but this one already has like minus 15 accuracy. I can show you with the map because it's on the
It's like minus, and the
bounty
hunter
has 10%.
He has 10% accuracy.
So that means like if you have 10% dodge, like he will still hit you.
Yeah. So some enemies like they might miss you more, you or the
you see the
building.
Is like minus 20.
Yeah. You or the building, but some enemies might hit you more, so stuff like that. And the final thing I wanted to talk about is like some small quality of life. But
that's right.
So here, when you actually like hover the portraits, we try to like enhance the data here, like like give better information and harmonize, uniformize how it works. So basically now, several things. You have the mana bar first.
Yeah, the mana bar.
It wasn't there, so pretty good. When you hover a hero, you get the numbers, the exact numbers. So it's well, it's up to everyone with the old habits, but you can either switch between heroes because you want to see on the bottom left as usual, because that's what I did. But now you can also like hover them on the top side.
And you also have like the weapon now on
Yep.
the panel.
Yeah, we reworked a bit the panel.
So if you don't know the face of your heroes, you can still
you can still see the hammer guy. And if you look at the other one, it's like the hammer,
hammer
as
guy
well.
and the hammer guy.
Hammer guy. But yeah, that's it. And basically, we wanted to have a better, like more a better experience. So yeah, now hovering a portrait is the same as hovering the character in game. So yeah, here when you hover the in-world sprite, you see you can see the info panel on the right, which you could, but it also highlights and shows the numbers as it like does when you hover the portrait like that.
That's right.
Smaller stuff, but still very useful. So yeah. So I think that's gonna be a wrap.
Okay.
Oh, Elite. Nice.
Yeah.
That was the last thing.
I think there
Night
was
four,
an edit
Elite.
on Night 2. So that's
Was there?
pretty
I
cool. Yeah, think
didn't.
so.
I wasn't paying attention.
I think so.
But yeah, much more diverse waves and stuff like that. So, if you know how difficult would it be to add some transparency? Yeah, but well, it is not. It's not easy. It's something we want to do. It's one of those things we actually want to do, and we've been wanting that for like before the early access release, and we never have time.
Yeah.
Because like it's not that easy. I know it's possible, but it's quite tech savvy, and we have no one who knows exactly how to do it. So we have to do some research and development, and usually we don't have time for that at the moment. So we still want to do it like either transparency or outline or whatever. That's something we want to add.
Yeah, but we need to think about this.
Yeah.
It wasn't so problematic when there was only like Lightbird, but since Glenvald it became a bit problematic, and this map has a bit more of like shapes and
it's quite annoying when you're like, because not seeing a character an enemy by yourself is like your own fault, but if it's hidden like behind a pillar or something like that, it's just annoying. But yeah, we want to try to do that at some point. That's it. So I guess it's gonna be enough for today.
Yeah, I think so.
Anyways, as usual, well, we can always talk to you on the stream at some points, and to be able to reorder the euros. Yeah, that's also something. Yeah, we've seen a couple of not a couple, but several people asking for that, and it's actually a good idea, and it's on the never-ending list of not prior things, but things we want to do because that would be really great.
It's a good cure.
Yeah,
I agree with this.
Yeah, me too. So thanks everyone for staying with us and asking the real questions, because it was really nice.
Yep, and come to the Discord if you have more questions, and give us some feedback, of course, about everything. It's like we're always for feedback. Sometimes
we don't have time to answer, but we read like almost all of them, and it's really nice to have. Yep. Anyways, thanks for the stream. See you later, guys.
Yep, see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.